Hello everyone and welcome to the third part of this series, where I go and rank every single Mario Kart Cup ever made. You probably know what this is all about at this point, but if you don't, I play through every Mario Kart game, I go through the specific cups, and I rank them based on the tracks and my 100% correct opinions. This time will be a little different, however, because I've actually added a brand new component. Introducing the score system. The score system is simple. I give every track a score out of 5, then I add all those points for a final score out of 20. Hopefully this helps my rankings make more sense, and you can judge these scores too and make comments about how terrible my score of a random track is. Who knows? But without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Yeah, Super Mario Kart's at last place again, I know, but hold on now. This game, as you may know, actually has 5 tracks in every cup, meaning that the score system will need to be changed. Yep. Looking good as new. Anyways, even with 5 tracks worth of points, it still manages to be last place. Man, how's that even possible? Koopa Beach 1 will tell us how. I mean, this is the first water-based track in Mario Kart history, so surely something interesting's gotta be here. It's a fucking circle! Choco Island 2 is famous for having a large mud section with absolutely nothing in it. Wow, not starting off strong here, huh? What were they actually thinking placing all these ramps down at the end? This looks like something a 9-year-old will do for a Mario Maker level. And here we have our first ice level in Mario Kart history. Oh boy, I hope it's not another circle. Do you only know one shape? It's funny how a level called Donut Plains is the only one to not have a circle-shaped track. You know, if there's one thing this game was missing, it was ice physics. I mean, these controls just weren't slippery enough. Bowser's Castle 3 is... Wait, hold up. Is that the good track alert? I've been waiting all day for that thing to go off. Seeing this track for the first time gave me whiplash because 1, it made me realize I haven't seen every Mario Kart track ever, and 2, this course is crazy! There's tons of split paths here, and even more ramps and thwomps to avoid. It really felt like a true gauntlet to drive through. We can't end off with a good thing though, because now we have Mario Circuit 4. It couldn't be a trilogy, it just had to be a quadrilogy. You know, this track's layout seems kinda familiar. I wonder why that... Oh my goodness! It's just a mirrored version of Mario Circuit 3! So not only do they reuse track themes, they just reuse the tracks themselves. I mean, did they only have 3 weeks to make this game or something? The course is actually pretty alright to race on, you know? Probably because it got its layout from something actually good. You guys see why I don't like this game, right? From the bad controls to the reused level design, it's no wonder why it only got a 9 out of 25. And don't worry, from now on the scores will be out of 20, alright? Mario Kart Super Circuit is up next, and you want to know what the really funny part is? This isn't even the next cup in the game. Instead, the Lightning Cup was actually supposed to be the next cup. You know, the Lightning Cup that's supposed to be the last part of this series. Guess we're just gonna have to leave those 4 tracks for later then. Oh well, deal with it. Starting off, we've got Snowland. You might know this one from the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. This version's special, however. Could you tell? That's right. Now this course has a really cool screen shaking gimmick that really makes you feel like ending your life. This is actually painful to play through. I can't believe anyone back in the day thought this would be fun. I mean, is it even intentional? Other than that though, the track itself is fun. Just make sure to watch out for those penguins, alright? They can be deadly. And here's another famous one from Mario Kart 8. The original Ribbon Road is way different from the one you might know. For one, the music here is very unique compared to the MK8 remix. I actually think I like this version more. The track itself doesn't have many obstacles to speak of though. It's really the theming that makes it so special in my opinion, and that's enough for it to get a 3.5. Yoshi Desert is a basic desert course, which is kinda crazy because this game already has Cheeseland in it, which is an actually unique take on a desert course, but whatever. I guess what makes this stand out is the giant Yoshi Sphinx in the background. Man, I wish that were real. This track is fine. Just make sure to watch out for that quicksand, or a piranha plant will eat you up like it's dry desert or something. Oh my goodness, is this a great Bowser's Castle? I mean, it's got practically everything going for it. They could have just made this another boring old Bowser's Castle, but they actually tried to make this one stand out. Like creating a brand new background, for example. Not even Mario Kart Tour can do that. Wow, okay. The track design here is as good as ever, but can we please stop with the screen shaking? I think we've done enough of that for one cup. I also love how you can see Kamek flying above at the end. He doesn't even do anything, it's just a cool Easter egg. A pretty average showing all around, with Ribbon Road and Bowser's Castle 3 being the better ones here. Now we just gotta see which 3D game will be the lowest ranked one. Mario Kart 64 is up next, and we're starting off with the longest one here. You ever wonder why Nintendo's never remade this track before? Well, maybe it's because this track takes 4.5 minutes to complete! And that's if you're in first place. It wouldn't even be so bad if the track had anything of substance in it, but no! There's no obstacles to speak of. Just a bunch of mud ramps you can't even trick off because this game came out like, what, 25 years ago? It's just flat out boring. You can tell this one was made last second. I mean, just look at all those Wario heads copy-pasted everywhere. Though, to be fair, Wario would do that. Here's another simple track, Sherbet Land, but the simplicity doesn't ruin this track. It's still surprisingly fun. I love how crystal clear that ice looks. Genuinely a good use of the N64 engine, and dodging those penguins can be a little bit challenging sometimes. Just don't try to jump over the cracks every lap like I do. It never ends well. If you told me to pick a track that captured the spirit of Mario Kart 64 the most, it would definitely be this one. I mean, this is a royal classic. I bet the Queen of England would have loved it. There's so many iconic aspects of this track, like the bright pink sky, the ginormous leap from the bridge, and the best part, the detour to Peach's castle. Oh man, this is such a cool and iconic Easter egg. I hope they bring it back in future Mario Kart games. I guess Trump wasn't joking. Wait a second, this isn't the special cup ranking yet, and we've already got another Bowser's Castle? Yeah, besides all the 2D games, this is strangely the only time Bowser's Castle is in the Star Cup. I guess they realized later on that it would make more sense to actually put the Bowser level in the final cup. This version is so charming though. I mean, it's even got Marty the Green Thwomp for Pete's sake. The layout's pretty good too, with all of those thwomps trying to squish you, and the jumps over the lava outside the castle. I also love these paintings Bowser's got of himself. You can truly tell he's an artistic guy. While there are some fan favorite tracks here, it's still not enough for it to get on the higher ranking of Star Cups, which honestly just goes to show how commendable the tracks in the Star Cups are. Let's just see how much better they get. Well, this is quite a fall from grace from the last ranking, huh? You'll have to bear with me as I explain this one, alright? DK Pass is like DK Summit if it was bad. Okay, maybe I wouldn't go that far. I just think the track is boring. Nothing about this really screams DK to me. Even the aforementioned DK Summit, which is practically the same theme, feels more like a DK track because of the verticality and cool shortcuts you can take. But here, there's hardly any of that. You just drive to this highway next to the mountain and eventually go on the mountain itself. Cool! At least the snowballs can be deadly if you're not careful. 2 out of 5. Alright, now this is a good theme. They actually decided to make a track based entirely on a Mario 64 level. Why haven't they done anything like this again? They really used the setting to the fullest here, having the obstacles all be clock themed, like the pendulums, the clock hands, and even the spinning clocks themselves. It really shows how creative they can be with the track design in this game, which makes something like DK Pass stick out like a sore thumb. Speaking of sore thumbs, we've got another Mario Wait, what? Did they actually put the Mario circuit of this game in the Star Cup instead of the Flower Cup? Just when things were starting to get good, they just had to ruin it. This track is like figure 8 circuit if it wasn't a figure 8, which means it still sucks. I mean, at least it's got Goombas and fire-spitting piranha plants. In terms of other Mario circuits, it's fine, but as a whole, it's just not that exciting. When the coolest part about your track is the pipe tunnel with lights in it, you know you messed up. Okay, now this is true peak right here. I'd even say this is one of the biggest bangers in all of Mario Kart history. Airship Fortress is simply everything done correctly in a Mario Kart track. I mean, it has it all. Incredible theming, amazing track design, and truly memorable graphics. This is exactly how a racetrack on one of Bowser's many airships should be like. It really feels like an adventure the whole way through. If I had to complain about something, It's that those rocky wrenches look really scary. Ugh. Still a 5 out of 5 though. Wow, our first perfect score. Isn't that something? Well, wasn't this cup just a mixed bag? With some really high highs and some surprisingly low lows. I really wouldn't have expected it to be at this placement on the ranking, but that's why I do this series, isn't it? To surprise everyone, including myself. Let's see what our next surprise is. Double Dash is up next, and just because this ranking's in the middle doesn't mean there's not some especially special stuff here. First of all, we've got the second sherbet land of this video. I mean, what are the chances? 100% apparently, and I think this one's a little bit better too. That starting line banner is so awful looking that I just laugh whenever I see it. This track is pretty cool, no pun intended. I mean, there's skating Shy Guys for crying out loud. Who wouldn't love that? The nighttime setting really makes it stand out too, especially when you're inside that cave. It all looks so gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous tracks, Mushroom City is one of them. It's basically a sequel to Mushroom Bridge, except now you're right in the heart of downtown, with all these cars and buses speeding everywhere. This is pretty much a tour city track before tour city tracks, with the fact that there's plenty of different paths you can take each lap, and also because it's, you know, a city. My favorite vehicle has got to be the giant Wiggler train. I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely ride it. I dare you to find someone on Earth who doesn't love Yoshi Circuit. And if you do find them, just give them a few minutes with me and ooh, I'll make them. There's just so much to love about it. Did you know that the whole track is in the shape of a Yoshi? Yeah, I also bet you didn't know that Super Mario Bros. 2 is actually Doki Doki Panic. Only true gamers do. I don't know how they managed to make this track so fun to race on despite having to be in such a specific shape, but god damn it, they did! There's a lot of unique aspects about this track that are exclusive to this version. Like the flying Yoshi plane from Yoshi's Island. That's such a cool callback. How about the Birdo poster that says Birdo's watching? What does that even mean? Should I be scared? And of course, the super secret hidden shortcut that people won't shut up about. I mean, I couldn't pull it off, but at least I tried, okay? Boom. Can we get much higher? So high. Oh. Oh. Boom. Can we get much? Ending things off, we've got another fan favorite. DK Mountain is infamous for the amount of bad luck that occurs on it. The track is so much fun though. First of all, you go through this giant cannon. Wow, nice angle. Anyways, you go through this giant cannon that shoots you to the top of the mountain, and you have to traverse all the way back down through the rocky landscapes and gaps. It really feels like a true adventure every lap. You hear that, DK Pass? A true adventure! My favorite part has got to be this my favorite part has got to be this shortcut over the gap. It's so satisfying to pull off and pretty easy too. Yeah, easy. Boom. Can we get much? A pretty good showing all around for this Star Cup, I must say. Not really any bad tracks here, just a few average ones. It can only go up from here though, so let's see what's next. Next up, we've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart on the Wii U. Yoshi Kart 8? Listen, it's just Mario Kart 8. You know, I never thought they'd put Sunshine in a track name again, but color me surprised. This just shows how in the current day, there's still so many unique and interesting ideas you can have with a Mario Kart track, and this is definitely one of them. Having the track take place on a bustling airport. It feels cinematic in a way when you see that giant plane flying right towards you, and that Koopa Troopa Beach Easter egg is a classic. I really hope when they remake that track again one day, that you can actually see Sunshine Airport in the distance. It would make everything come full circle. I'm not gonna lie everyone, but I really don't get the hype of Dolphin Shoals. I know the track looks stunning, and of course that saxophone solo is legendary, but it just doesn't feel that unique in my eyes. Like this windy pipe section is pretty janky to control, especially on high CCs, and this eel is... okay, actually this eel's great. I love tricking on his spine or whatever a million times, but it's still not enough to save it. It just feels like another water level when they could have done something more special. Maybe take that dolphin name to the fullest and have us riding on giant dolphins or something. Oh well, maybe in Mario Kart 9. Electrodrome is truly something special. You know why? It's the only one-word track in Mario Kart history! Wow, we're really breaking some records here, guys. Keep it up. I thought this was named Electro Dome for the longest time, and I know you did too. Holy moly, did they go all out with the theme here. It's basically a futuristic take on Music Park, except now we're at the disco, and it's so bright and colorful that even my eyes are raving. Anti-gravity is used pretty well in this track, with you traveling across the walls and then eventually choosing one of two ways to go, each track being uniquely twisty and bendy. Solid 4 out of 5. I'm betting all of you know this track pretty well, and maybe even think it's one of the better tracks in this game. Maybe even the best one. And what do I think? I'm just saying that after playing this track, if given the chance, I would mount Wario. This is undoubtedly the best original track in this game. It's a perfect use of the no-lap system. It genuinely feels like an adventure the whole way through. In fact, let me just do a quick run through of how this all plays out, alright? First, you start on a plane that slowly opens up, then you jump out of it, in unison to the song I must add, then begin traveling down the mountainous terrain. Next, you go inside the mountain itself into a gorgeous cave, gliding over the rushing water below, until you find yourself heading towards the goddamn Wario Dam! After that, you drive through a snowy forest section with tons and tons of trees, and even a secret shortcut if you got a shroom handy. And finally, on the last section, you're on an Olympic ski slalom type area, which ends off with a sky-high glide through some rings, and a final drift to the finish line, and bada bing bada boom, holy f***! I hope that description makes you realize why this is one of the greatest Mario Kart tracks of all time. And an easy 5 out of 5. Now that was a good cup. But some of you may be asking, hey, unfunny me, didn't Double Dash's Star Cup get the exact same score as this one? And well, you'd be right! It surprised me too, but I had to give the edge to the Wii U's Star Cup. I mean, it had a track with a perfect score on it while GameCube didn't. I think it deserves the higher placement. I really wasn't expecting this game to have such great tracks twice in a row, but man, it just seems to be getting better and better. Like this track, for example, Piranha Plant Slide. I feel like this one's pretty underrated for what it is, but I absolutely love the theming they've got here. It's based on retro old-ass Mario games, specifically Mario Bros. 1, and you can really see it with the castle, the mountains, and especially the floating clouds. But what really makes this track special is how it's basically an underground level from that game as a Mario Kart racetrack, but if it were a fun water slide instead. Everything's comprised of 8-bit blocks and bricks, and there's even these fake cutouts at the end for some reason. I never really knew why they added these, but it's probably because it's a model from 3D Land they can easily reuse. Wario Shipyard is another really good water-based track. Man, they just can't stop hitting with these. It's a racetrack, but on a sunken underwater pirate ship, and I gotta say, it has some really cool looking locales. Driving through the mouth of a bonefish is pretty awesome, and the wrecked pirate ship is a unique place to go through too. While I might not be the biggest fan of the water physics here, it's still a fun track to play, and also adds to the fact that Wario can never miss on the track department. Wario Stadium doesn't count. Is this actually the first time we've had a Bowser track not be a Bowser's Castle? This has a really cool futuristic neon city theme that does not forget to remind you that it's Bowser's, and having it raining really adds to the aesthetic. It looks great, even on the 3DS. The layout is honestly pretty great too, with some of the tightest turns you'll ever have to make, and of course that way far out shortcut past the finish line. It's always fun to try and pull it off. Boom. Can you actually believe they made one of the best tracks in this game and thought, what if we just do that again? Maka Woohoo is just as good, if not better, than the previous Woohoo loop. It's just different enough to make it feel like it's got its own identity, while still being on the exact same island as last time. This time it takes place during sunset and goes on a different path through Woohoo Island, and there's plenty of memorable locales. Take this purple water I never knew you could drive through, this giant castle I also didn't know you could drive through, and of course, what is probably the largest gliding section in Mario Kart history. And wow, is it epic and satisfying. It's definitely a high 4.5. This game has really surprised me lately with how good the tracks can be, with the Mushroom Cup being one of the worst types of those cups, to the Flower and Star Cups being actually pretty decent. Let's just hope it's not a disappointment sandwich with a special cup. But for now, it's time for first place. Gee, I wonder who the hell it could be. I'm just gonna tell it how it is. This cup might be one of, if not the greatest set of 4 tracks in all of Mario Kart history. But me, you may ask, don't you hate this game? I mean, you ranked 2 or above it, so what, huh? Did it spit in your lunch or something? Well, if it did, I'd say thank you, because this game is great, and the tracks are even better. Some of the ones we have here are even my all-time favorite tracks in the whole series. Now, this one, admittedly, might not be an all-time favorite, but it's still pretty good. You know, when I was young, I thought, wow, a track based on Daisy? Who even is that? Some may call me based, but I just didn't think this Daisy themed course was all that special back then. Nowadays, however, especially compared to all these other circuit tracks, this one is actually pretty unique. You can't deny that this track is undeniably Daisy's. I mean, the whole track is colored orange like her, including the sky. Now, if we were playing at any other time of day, then yeah, it's kind of boring. You just gotta love that Luigi and Daisy statue too. Even a baby version is here too. It's one of the only instances in a Mario game where we actually see their relationship, and it's honestly pretty adorable. Koopa Cape is my place. This track is so fun, with you speeding across the rapids and taking a giant dip into this underwater tunnel. It's probably one of my favorite Mario Kart moments ever. There's just something about this track that was so appealing when I was a child. It's honestly just the textbook definition of fun, and that's all it really has to be. Also, this music here is so high energy and perfectly encapsulates this high-speed adventure. It's impossible not to love. And here it is. Maple Treeway. This might sound crazy to some, but I think this may be my favorite track in Mario Kart history. And here I was praising Koopa Cape like it was the best thing ever. I don't think there could be a better lineup than Koopa Cape and the Maple Treeway. I just don't think it's possible. I really love the theme here. The autumn setting with all the red and orange leaves is just so beautiful to look at. Even with the Wii's graphics, it hasn't aged badly at all. These giant wigglers make excellent obstacles. Sometimes they can be pretty hard to avoid, but they're more than manageable. This wavy bridge is such an interesting addition, but tricking off of it constantly is so much fun to do. There's just so many memorable locations here. I haven't even mentioned the shortcut that's right at the beginning of the track. They hardly ever do something like that, but it's really unique. All of these reasons are why so many people, including myself, love this track so much, and why it also gets a perfect score. Also, hi, this track's getting added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe now, so yeah, this game is definitively the best one now, huh? Just had to add this as the news came out after I finished the script, but yeah, pretty cool. Alright, so Grumble Volcano might not be another Maple Treeway, but god damn it, it's still great. It nails its volcano theme perfectly. You can go through the caves of the volcano itself, and then when you're back outside, you can see another volcano in the distance erupt, which leads fireballs to be shot out towards the track. This isn't just for show though, because after you complete a lap, the ground starts to shake and the cracks become more noticeable. And then on the final lap, the cracked floor actually does sink away, leaving you with less track to race on than before. It's also genius. I can't forget to mention the rock hop. It's one of the most famous Mario Kart Wii shortcuts ever, and even if it definitely wasn't intentional, it's still a really cool part of the track nonetheless. So there you go. That's why I think that Mario Kart Wii has the best Star Cup ever. It might not be perfect, but holy shit is it close. It's really gonna be hard to top this one, I gotta say. But if anything does, it's gonna be one for the history books. And that was every Mario Kart Star Cup ranked. I think on average I enjoyed this tracks more than the flower cups and especially the mushroom cups, but now with this done, we've only got one more set of original Nitro tracks to go with the special cups. I hope you get ready for about 50 Bowser's Castles and Rainbow Roads, because I know I sure as hell am not. Make sure to like this video and subscribe so that you can see the next thrilling part of this series right away. But for now, thanks for watching and have a great day.